everybody and welcome to my channel. This video is going to be a VR to Nina at Shuffle Tarot. She put up a video recently that I was just really drawn to. I think she did such a beautiful job with it, but it was called Healing Your Inner Child spread. Now she got this spread from, let's see if I have it here in my video. If not, I will put it in the description box down below where she got the original Healing My Inner Child spread. Oh, there it is. Emerald Lotus, I think, is an Instagram account, I want to say. But again, I will have all the information down below, and I will also have a link to Nina's video down below as well. I really enjoy doing work with my inner child, and I was recently gifted the Happy Tarot, which I just felt like as soon as I saw it, it made me smile, it made me feel really safe, and I just felt like this would be the perfect deck to do this particular spread with. So I thought I would take you guys along the journey while I work through those spread positions and look at what my inner child is, like what's happening with my inner child right now. So I'm going to just give this deck a couple of shuffles and wake my phone back up to see what the spread positions are, and we will just go through it together, and I'll just give you my real raw first impressions on what the cards have to say to me about my inner child, and we'll see where it goes and how it unfolds. All right. And one last shuffle and then a cut, which is how I usually do it. And a cut. All right. So the first position is, oops, where did it go? How my inner child feels currently. And the card I've drawn is the Five of Wands. And these pictures, just a bunch of children just beating up on each other with sticks. And the image, part of the image that draws my attention first actually, is that little redheaded child in the back corner right up here. And that particular child looks really determined, like he's about to rush into the fray and just like get his beat on in there. And honestly, the first thing I think of about how my inner child is feeling right now is just feeling a little bit conflicted. There's a lot happening, or that has been happening in my personal life recently, that's just brought a lot of my past stuff right to the foreground again. And this is not my first rodeo. I know how that goes, but I could see a little bit of tantrum, foot stomping sort of energy from my inner child. Like, not again. Do we have to do this again? So that is the first thing this card makes me think of, is that my inner child is feeling a little frustrated and a little bit fed up with having to go through this over and over and over again. Oh, we're off to a great start. Let's see how it goes in the next spread position. This is what I lacked as a child. We have the Knight of Pentacles. So I see the Knight of Pentacles as somebody who has the opportunity to take their time, to learn the lessons that they need to learn at a pace that is slow and reasonable and healthy. I feel like my inner child didn't really get that opportunity. I feel like there was a lot of confusing messages and not great models of coping and handling emotion that surrounded me when I was young. And I have a feeling that my inner child just ended up getting kind of a crash course in how to process emotions as an adult and not as a child. And so I kind of missed out on that whole experience of learning things as I go, of being able to take my time and explore and also safely try new things and know that it would be okay. Whew. Number 3, something that left my inner child scarred. So speaking of things moving quickly, although you have to smile with these images, right? The Eight of Wands. There was a lot of disruption, I think, in my childhood. A lot of things happening that felt out of my control. I have a feeling that those are the things that have impacted my inner child the most, is having things just happen and not having a lot of say. Having things, choices made that I didn't get a say in, and having consequences land that weren't, again, consequences because of choices I'd made. So I think that my inner child was probably most impacted by this idea that stuff would just happen and there wouldn't be any control. Let's look at how that's affecting my life now. The Page of Pentacles. To me, this energy is a reminder that as a result of all of this stuff growing up, my inner child now is like, you know what? I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to workshop this stuff. I'm going to get really curious about how all of this stuff works. And that has been a big driving reason why things like the tarot and working on self-worth and personal growth have become such huge passions of mine. Because having to learn all this stuff as an adult, I have a deeper appreciation than perhaps I would have otherwise of the work involved in really being your best self and being committed to a path that honors your best self and that lets your best self shine through. The next spread position is something I can do to heal my inner child. We're getting all the pence. I don't know if that was my shuffling or if I'm just really meant to deal with these pence. But we have here I'm pretty sure this is the King of Pentacles. That's definitely the King. So this is what I can do to heal. And the strongest message I feel like I'm getting from this is relaxing into being yourself. Relaxing into that comfort and contentment that comes from being content with what you have. That comfort and relaxation that happens when we allow ourselves to take up space in the world, which is a huge thing that I consciously do in my life now. I consciously look the world in the face. I consciously embody space. I consciously remind myself that I deserve to be here and that my voice matters and that what I do matters. And I feel like the King of Pence is somebody who's like, yeah, I've put in the work and I'm going to let myself enjoy this life. And I definitely feel like that completely ties into healing. I think I just used that spread position twice. Meh. But yes, that's the how can I heal my inner child. And how can I support my inner child, which feels very similar, but also kind of different. The Two of Wands. How can I support my inner child? The Two of Wands for me really feels like somebody who can see possibility, who has that higher perspective and can look out on everything in front of them and go, wow, look at all the different things that are possible now. And I feel like perhaps what my inner child needs to know now is that the future is wide open. The future is this open expanse of possibility where if you can just embrace that fool energy and be willing to take some chances, there's nothing but adventure and good stuff ahead. The last spread position in this Healing Your Inner Child spread is a message from my inner child. Oh my gosh. I have a story about this card. So it is the Eight of Cups. Now, funny enough, shout out to Benabel Wen, who has been doing a fantastic series on YouTube called Sightseeing the Tarot. And she did an activity that was published, I believe, just this week, and was inspired by the book, I think it's called Tarot for an Inspired Life by Jamie Elford, which is on my book wish list now. And the exercise was called Rewriting a Past Memory, I believe. I will link it in the cards or in the description box down below. In this exercise, and I don't want to give you the whole thing because I think the way she's laid it out is beautiful and very responsible, so watch her video to understand how the whole thing works. But as part of that exercise, I consciously chose this card, not from this deck, from a different deck, to represent how I would rewrite the ending of a particular memory. And the Eight of Cups for me represents somebody who's willing to walk away no matter what society says, no matter what you think your life is supposed to look like, but being willing to walk away from the stuff that is not good for you anymore. Maybe it was good for you at one time, or maybe it even still looks good for you, but you just know it's not. The Eight of Cups for me is about consciously turning your back on something, no matter how well established and no matter how much external pressure you might feel to be in that environment, and saying, no, this isn't for me, and turning and walking away. And the message from my inner child here feels very affirming of that conscious choice I made to walk away from things that don't serve me, to quite literally maybe it's not quite literal, maybe it's figurative, but to turn my back on people and situations that are not good for me in my current life. And this feels very much like my inner child saying, yes, you did a good thing, and keep doing that good thing and keep protecting yourself and know that that's okay and you're allowed to do that. So yeah, that was, you know, how many spread positions were there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? Is that right? Or did I actually pull 2 for one position? I think I might have. Nope, there were 7. Okay, I didn't pull 2 for one position. Yay me, I did it right. Thank you very much to Nina at Shuffle Tarot, who started the tag Healing My Inner Child spread here on YouTube, and started this tag off with some vulnerability of her own, and that is something I really honor and respect. That I know how difficult it can be sometimes to come into a platform like YouTube or social media of any kind, or even just with somebody you know and trust, and open up in that way. And I really have deep respect for that. And I wanted to share mine as well, and I think I got some really beautiful messages. I'm going to be sitting with these 7 cards for a little bit longer on my own time, doing some journaling and exploring this further, but I just really wanted to share this with you all. My final little message. So if you are interested in doing this spread, I will have all the spread positions listed down below. The hashtag is Healing My Inner Child spread. And again, this was started by Nina over at Shuffle Tarot. Thank you for hanging out with me for this video, and I will see you all again very soon. Remember to hit the like button if you enjoyed this content, if you want me to make more videos like this. Definitely feel free to leave me comments down below and let me know if anything from this spread really resonates with you as something that you might want to try and do for yourself. And don't forget to subscribe if you are new here, and hit the little bell so you'll be notified of my live chats and my future videos. And I will see you all again very, very soon. Bye-bye.